Good evening and welcome to Austin Roof's super terrific Sandpoint weather report for January 25th through the 30th of 2016. This was taken typically around 5 p.m. and the local comparison is from our weather station here in Sandpoint Airport. I want to go ahead and take us quickly now into the report and show you the weather observations that I took. Now, the funny thing is that the templates never seem to want to compare mine with the other stuff. This happened last week with the Excel, happened this week once again. So here's what NWS showed, and here are mine. I'm going to show you kind of the typical observations of what I had. Right here you're going to notice that my max and my minimums were not too different from each other. They kind of exhibited 39, 34s in the minimums, and they had a general upswing, and then they went back down, but not by a whole lot. So here you go again, seeing the general upswing and then back down for the typical graph of my weather temperatures. So that will kind of correspond here. Beginning on the 25th, it's right here, and then it goes back up, and then goes back down. Alright, so the weather was kind of all over the place, as is typical, but of our area. And sadly, since I can't compare these with a graph, but I can show you what it typically showed for ours, is that the weather did stay typically the same, but got a little bit colder throughout the week, and then went up a little bit as well. Alright, barometric pressure-wise, you see here that it got really low, and then went really high towards the end. So right here, the 25th is where I caught on line. And if you look at my observations for the 25th, you'll see here 965, 971, then it goes down to 954, then violently turns back up to near 1,000. And so the barometric pressure is right on point here, with about 960, and then it goes down to just dipping below 960 there, and then starts swinging right back up to near 1,000 right towards the end of the week. So barometric pressure is right on point with what my observations were. So you can see that there was some, it's hard to compare the air temperature with mine because this kind of gives you a lot of up and down throughout the day. It would have been nice if mine did as well, and you can see the graph. However, here you do see that the barometric pressure definitely was in line with what my observations shown is very clear. If you want to compare this now to the pictures, here you can see that first day for the 25th, you see that low pressure right here. This is the area where I am located in Sandpoint, Alaska, and you just see massive low pressure, and here's a front coming up this way and going north, all this motion, and that's where we're at, and definitely a lot of low pressure that day, and just continuing. You see, okay, sorry about that. You see this low pressure right here, this low pressure right here, the really low one, 946, and that's kind of coming up this way towards where we are at and having an impact. That brought the barometric pressure lower, and then lower still once that low actually hit here. We get this all the time. This is pretty much the life of Sandpoint, is low pressures, lots of them coming in from the Pacific, coming up from the Bering, and just nailing the Aleutians. We have constant high level winds, lots of low pressure, storms all the time. December, it literally rained for about 2.5 weeks every single day. So this is where the barometric pressure got lower right here on Wednesday. And then Thursday, it began to lift. You can see the low pressures to the north of us now, and not a lot coming along the south. So here was that meteoric rise that we noticed, and it continues now. Not a lot of pressure around us. All the systems are kind of outlying in this direction. So Friday continued to be nice. We have a low pressure moving up this way, head in our direction. Continues to move but doesn't quite make it, and here was that last day of high pressure even coming up from the north. Beautiful thing. And Saturday was a rainy day with some wind, but the pressure was very high. So if you just kind of consider what the picture looks like of Our weather forecasts, compared to the observations of NWS plus my own, it all does jive pretty well together and paints a pretty good picture of what January the 25th through January the 30th did look like using all these different tools. Alright, thank you so much. This is Austin Roof reporting from Sandpoint, Alaska. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you have a great day.